Greetings friends, it's I, Clay from Scream Soda Incorporated, and guess what happened this week? Michael Vey 8 was released, and I read it in 2 days because I enjoyed it. So today I will be reviewing Michael Vey Book 8, The Parasite, and there will be mild spoilers for the book. Nothing huge, but enough that it will give some things away. So if you haven't read it yet, go read the book for yourself and then come back here so you can maybe agree or disagree with some of my thoughts. And the first thing is the dialogue. I was never a huge fan of the dialogue in the original books. They made me laugh, but like there were little roasts, or one line that could be said by Ian could easily have been said by Jack or anyone else, seriously. So it didn't feel very distinct. In this book, people have their own distinct humor, it feels more often. And I like that. It's nice. It makes me feel good and better about the characters. I love the suspense so far. The suspense is top notch. Like, it's very good at setting up for what's to come next. Different twists and turns inside the book as well. Really just kind of keep you on the edge, and it feels like I don't know what's going to happen yet. I feel like actually a little bit more like scared than I did when I read the original books. The characters are more vulnerable in this one. It has great pacing throughout the entire book. The beginning is great. I think it goes in the perfect direction that you would expect it to go. The Electra clan is split up across America now, but they're keeping in contact with each other, and everyone's going in different ways that you expect them to. Like Q, bro, this guy owns a couple clubs, man. Of course he does. This dude's a businessman, he's a leader, and I love his relationship with Michael now. I kind of wish we would have gotten to see more of that in book 6, when he originally was freed. But their relationship is like very like two smart leaders talking head to head, and it feels very nice. Which brings me to Ian. Now, there was one throwaway line in book 6 where we saw a sunken ship with some buried treasure inside of it. So we marked the coordinates down and come back for it later. And now that's how Ian makes a living. He's a treasure hunter. That's so cool. It's so him. I like how this sets up for the rest of the series going on, because there's confirmed to be 2 more books after this one. We kind of get a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of this one. So the next 2 books shall we wrap that up, and it's a great setup. I also love the revival of Elgen, honestly. Because it's not Elgen itself, it's the 3 groups that were working with Elgen originally, and that is the Chasqui, the Domguard, and the Lungli. And this book focuses specifically on the Chasqui, but also doesn't deal with them entirely in this book. So I'm wondering, making me kind of guess like, oh, are they gonna take care of them in the next book and then move on to the next one, the Lungli or the Domguard, or I don't know. You know, I'm asking the right questions and I'm hoping to get the right answers. I also love kind of the cult references it has within the Chasqui, because I already think Elgin's a cult, you know, but some of the other ones are much more cultish and brainwashing than the Elgin were. So that was really nice to see just a showcase of like control over your people. Scary stuff, but also like well executed, you know. I also like how early in the book, Michael kind of has a sense of entitlement almost, which is something that I think kind of showed itself up in the latter half of the first series. But it's kind of nice in this one to be like, hey, Michael's not perfect. And a lot of these characters also aren't perfect. They, of course, are going to feel a little bit of entitlement for saving the frickin' world, you know? They kind of just feel a little bit like above other people sometimes. Like how Hatch's glows were at the beginning of the series. Which is a cool way to like just kind of make you question and think about the series, which is nice. Now, I think it kind of lacks in a couple areas. Number one, this book is really a setup. Now, I like how it sets up for the rest of the series, but I finished it in 2 days. And here I am now with like no Michael Vey content for the next year, which is fine. It's fine, but like I kind of wish there was a bit more, maybe a bit longer, I don't know, something like a bit more substance, but otherwise, I also don't really like the love triangle subplot between Taylor, Michael, and Cassie. It doesn't feel very... It gets resolved in this one, so I don't know if they're gonna like do anything with it in the next 2 books or not. In this one, it just kind of feels like, what was that, man? That was weird. And speaking of weird, I don't really like how every girl is kind of just kissing every guy on the cheek. Like, maybe that's just something from Richard Paul Evans's time, but I don't see that with anyone ever at all. It just feels kind of, I don't know, it feels a little strange for me. But that's like the least of my worries. But yeah, that was Michael Vey Book 8 in review. Nothing too big, but it's a good book. I like the suspense. It's action-packed enough, and there's the little moments between the characters that really feel nice. I love the characterization between everyone in this book. Well, that's it for today, guys. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. Give me your feedback, all right? Let me try to make a couple more videos about Elgin coming up later, specifically about the cult tactics and possibly the Chasqui. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching, everyone. Peace out, stay stellar, and spread the love. Oh, really?